I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to V Squad TV. Kim Taehyung and the world-fascinating Cartier watch collection. A fusion of luxury, history, and iconic charisma. When it comes to unmatched luxury, class and elegance, few K-pop idols can match them all in one person like Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. In a world that is always moving fast and filled with trends that come and go, Taehyung's style stands strong, elegant, artistic, and very iconic. One of the most prominent aspects of his style is his love for luxury watches, especially from the legendary fashion house Cartier. With long and slender hands, almost as if they were created specifically to showcase the beauty of the watch, every time Taehyung wears a Cartier, the public can't help but be amazed. Not just to sweeten up his appearance, the watches seem to blend in with his personality and mysterious aura. Fans call him the Cartier boy, and every time he appears with a new watch is always a hot topic on social media. One of the most phenomenal moments was when Taehyung showed up at J-Hope's concert wearing a Cartier London Crash 1967. A legendary watch known for its unique melting shape, inspired by the avant-garde of the 60s. Only a few celebrities dare to wear it, but Taehyung wore it with confidence, as if it was made for him. The watch was recently auctioned for a whopping $1.5 million USD, double its initial estimate. The Cartier Crash is known as a symbol of artistic rebellion, a quality that is also strongly associated with Taehyung. He doesn't just wear fashion, he reinterprets it with his own personal touch. So it's no wonder that when he showed up with the iconic watch, collectors and fashion observers were immediately amazed. To them, Taehyung is not just an idol, he is a cultural icon. Another striking moment happened after he was discharged from the military. In his first public appearance, he wore a Cartier Santos Dumont worth $13,500 US. In just a few hours, the model was sold out from Cartier's official website. Proof that Taehyung's style can trigger a global trend with just one look. Not only once, Taehyung also wore another variant of Santos Dumont when appearing on a talk show with Suga in 2023. This shows that for him, Cartier is not only a symbol of luxury, but also part of a lifestyle that he upholds with great respect and consistency. During the Layover album promotions, Taehyung was again in the spotlight when he appeared with a Ballon Bleu de Cartier watch worth $17,600 US. With an elegant circular design and a shiny sapphire crown, the watch blended perfectly with his mysterious and charming aura. Fans called the moment the most luxurious appearance in K-pop talk show history. Interestingly, in a touching episode of Dingo Story, when Taehyung surprised a fan, he wore another Santos Dumont, this time worth $8,800 US. The moment was especially memorable, not only because meeting an idol warmed my heart, but also because every detail of Taehyung's style reinforced the elegant and personal impression. During J-Hope's farewell ceremony before his enlistment, Taehyung chose the Tank Musta Cartier watch, an iconic design with a classic feel that costs $12,000 US. The rectangular watch conveys a message of understated yet powerful elegance. He later deepened that impression by wearing another version with a blue dial and leather strap, worth $15,000 US, during the Layover era. The Tank Must itself is a heritage model created by Louis Cartier in 1917, inspired by the silhouette of a World War I-era battle tank. With Taehyung having just completed his military service, the watch became a metaphorical symbol of his strength and poise, a blend of history and modernity that came to life on his wrist. Armies also can't forget the touching moment when the BTS members gathered for the first time since enlisting. In the group photo, Taehyung is seen wearing another Cartier watch, this time for around $16,000 US. Even standing alongside the iconic BTS members, Taehyung's style still steals the show. While attending IU's recent concert, he was seen wearing an $11,700 US Tank Louis Cartier. With a sleek design and a soft masculine touch, this watch solidifies Taehyung's status as a true gentleman who knows how to dress for the right occasion.
Everybody in the world.
Throughout his album promotions and appearances at fashion shows, Taehyung has worn various versions of Cartier's tank collection, including one that costs $13,000. Fashion observers agree that every time Taehyung steps out, he's not just wearing a watch, he's telling a story through his style. Taehyung's style has inspired not only his fans, but also the world's leading fashion houses. He's not just an unofficial brand ambassador for Cartier, he's a walking inspiration. Many fans and fashion enthusiasts hope that Cartier will one day work with him directly to design a special edition watch. Just imagine, a Cartier x Taehyung limited edition, perhaps called Eternal Layover or V Signature Time, filled with vintage and artistic details that reflect his soul. It would sell out in minutes. Because who else could wear a watch worth tens of thousands of dollars in a military uniform and still look like a character from a French noir film? Only Kim Taehyung could pull it off without looking over the top. The balance between simplicity and luxury is the essence of his style. More than just a celebrity, Taehyung has become a contemporary representation of timeless elegance. He brings the Cartier brand to a new generation, one that values the stories, meanings, and heritage behind every style detail. It's no wonder that many call him a living ambassador of time. With every watch he wears, Taehyung shows that fashion is not just about trends, but about identity. He doesn't follow time, he creates his own, and every second engraved on his watch, as if recording important chapters of his career and life. In a world that often gets caught up in empty glamour, Kim Taehyung reminds us that true luxury comes from authenticity. Cartier doesn't just stick to his wrist, it's embedded in his soul, creating an elegant and irreplaceable narrative. If Cartier ever decides to make Taehyung its official face, the world won't be surprised. Because for a long time, the most beautiful watches in the world have found the perfect place to shine, on Kim Taehyung's wrist. In several interviews, stylists who have worked with Taehyung have said that choosing a watch is always an important part of his appearance, often even before choosing clothes. This shows how personal and strategic Taehyung's relationship with the accessories he wears is. A watch is not just a style accessory, but also a marker of emotion, momentum, and even a hidden message that can only be captured by a keen eye. Every Cartier he wears becomes a kind of emotional time marker in his career, like chapters in a visual novel. Another interesting fact, Taehyung is very interested in the history and design philosophy behind Cartier. In one session with a fashion editor in Paris, he reportedly spent almost an hour just discussing the architectural history of the tank watch and Salvador Dali's inspiration in the Cartier crash design. His interest shows that he is not just a wearer, he is a true lover of art and design. His ability to relate fashion to cultural and historical contexts makes his choices even more classy. Taehyung's influence in the luxury watch industry has even begun to spread to the wider Asian market. Several dealers and collectors have noted a significant increase in searches and sales of Cartier models worn by Taehyung, especially among the younger generation. Many claim to be interested in buying not because of the trend, but because they want to feel a small part of the time aura worn by the idol. This phenomenon has begun to be referred to as the V effect in the Korean horology community. Furthermore, global fashion observers predict that if this trend continues to grow, Cartier could set new sales records simply because of Taehyung's style effect. Even major auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's have begun to highlight Cartier collections associated with Asian celebrities, with Taehyung as the main focus. In the world of fashion and auctions, Taehyung's presence is starting to shift the Western-centric dynamic to become more inclusive and global. Ultimately, Kim Taehyung doesn't just love watches, he celebrates time. He honors the seconds, minutes, and hours as part of his personal and artistic journey. And through Cartier, he conveys the message that every moment, no matter how small, can be extraordinary when arranged with elegance, taste, and identity. An elegant lesson that touches not only fashionistas, but also the souls of fans who follow his every step, second